All right, everybody, back to local news now. Our friends at the SNIP organization, which stands, if you didn't know, for Spay, Neuter, Island Pets. Wonderful organization with really, really good people who care about animals. They're going to be back out in the community in mid-February to perform spaying and neutering surgeries for our island's dogs and cats in honor of the organization's one-year reopening anniversary. Stephanie DeForge is by way of Washington State, the Apple State. She is here right now. Stephanie, Hoffaday, and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
All right.
So excited to talk about our clinic.
Okay, and there is a milestone not only with the one-year anniversary, but kind of like the numbers kind of line up interestingly because today our friend Dr. Mariana Turner, the island's territorial veterinarian, she's performing her 2000th such spaying and neutering operation, right?
Yeah, our clinic today is knocking our goals for the year out of the park, and we're doing our 2000th surgery today on a cat named Boba.
Very nice. Okay, so shout out to Mariana Turner over there. Doc, we miss you. We can't wait to have you back here on the KUM couch, and congratulations on the 2000th surgery. Okay, now you can mention like the patient and everything. There's no HIPAA like violation if it's a cat.
No, not for that. But I did talk to Boba earlier, and he purred and meowed and said it was okay for me to talk about him today.
Okay, consent is always good. But you know, consent is kind of the operative word because it is a choice that pet owners or people that care for animals or, you know, like animals live in the home, that's a very conscious decision that they have to make. And maybe, do you feel at this point, having done so many, that the general community still is aware of exactly how important this is for population control and just to, you know, get the 60,000 strays that we have around this island under control?
Definitely our island has had an overpopulation problem, but our experience with the community is that people are really excited and grateful for the opportunity to come and have these low-cost spay and neuter opportunities at the SNP clinic. We are always booked out. Our appointments are released every 8 weeks, and we always sell out of every slot that we have available, and we even try to squeeze as many as we can in a day. The community is really stepping up, and they want these services, and they want their animals sterilized. And we do everything we can to educate the public about the importance of spaying and neutering their animals, because a single female can make thousands of babies over the course of her lifetime generationally, because her babies will make babies and those babies will make babies. And so when you have one dog adding thousands of animals over the course of 6 years to the island, it really does cause that problem that we've been having. But so many people are signing up to get their pets in sterilized because they want to end that generational growth of animals on island.
Okay, now Stephanie, for people for whom animals are legitimate permanent family members, right? They might think right now, if they don't really understand the whole, you know, process, or maybe more importantly, like the end product, how dramatically does it change the behavior of a dog or cat if they were to get spayed or neutered?
I personally, for my own pets, have not noticed anything different in them over the course of their lives and years when sterilized. It doesn't do anything to massively alter their animal or alter their personality. I'm not a veterinarian, but our vets, you know, have talked about how certain behaviors that animals may exhibit could be curtailed by a spay or neuter. For example, a male dog is going to be less likely to wander to find himself a girlfriend if he's neutered. And so if you're wanting him to stay home and not go wandering and at risk getting hit by a car or other things, sterilizing him will help.
Scariest time of my life when I was 12 years old. My dog strayed away from home. He was gone for a day and a half and everything. I was absolutely terrified. We drove around all night, my dad and I, just yelling out "Fluffy, Fluffy," and he came back, and he was
Thank goodness he did.
Yeah, and he was kind of tired, so I didn't ask him what he did.
He may have found himself a girlfriend, hopefully not.
Yeah. So Stephanie, you've assisted in hundreds of these procedures, right?
Yeah.
Let's break down the actual mechanics of this, right? Because even though Guam's small, 30 miles long by 7 miles wide, it's a very hustle and bustle island right here. And I know some people that we've been fortunate to talk to. They said, I don't know if I've got that much time in my day. I see the importance of spaying and neutering, but is this like bringing my kid to the clinic and everything? So how fast does this procedure go, and what's the recovery time?
As far as for pet parents, it's a really fast process. You come in the morning, you drop your pet off with us, and we take care of them for the whole day for you.
Appointment-based, by the way, like you said.
Exactly. They get checked in, they get an exam by our veterinarian of the day. They go and get loved and pampered by our vet techs, and then they
Ooh.
go through their surgery. Well, when animals are sedated, it's a lot easier to clean ears, pick things out of their toes and trim some nails, because some animals don't like getting their paws touched.
Sounds more like a spa day for our
Exactly.
four-legged friends.
So they come through and we give them all the love they can through the day, and the actual surgery time is very minimal. A lot of the time of the day is just all the prep work and the recovery, because we want to make sure that we're sending animals home that are awake and happy and healthy. So we make sure to get all of the surgeries done as soon as we can, keep them under as little as possible. And so like a cat neuter can be done, in a few minutes, whereas like a large dog spay might take, closer to like 10 or 15 minutes, depending on the situation of the
It's that
animal's
quick,
needs.
though.
Yeah, our veterinarians are highly trained and specially trained to do these high quality, high yield surgeries that move through quickly, so that our animals aren't sedated for very long and they can wake up and recover quickly.
So what is the recovery time? And would you consider this minimally invasive procedure?
Well, it depends. I think neuters are probably more minimally invasive than a spay. Spays, they're essentially a hysterectomy.
Yeah.
And so clearly our female dogs, they can't go out hiking or on a run right after surgery. But typically within a week, the animals are recovered. They go home with medication to help manage their pain and inflammation, and like all of the animals that I've brought home, like they recovered in less than a week. And so 2 weeks, sometimes animals might need it depending on their age and their medical conditions, but it doesn't take a whole lot. And mainly for the recovery for pet owners, they just have to keep their animals home, safe, and don't let them run or go go crazy, and just keep them, contained for a few days, and then they're ready to go, and they're back at life, having a good time.
Okay, so in addition to the age of the animal, Stephanie, are there any breeds that react differently, or like, because I know Guamanians, we've got like several hundred breeds of dog here and everything like that. So are there any, obviously larger dogs might react a little bit different than like the little toy dogs, or like the little Monopoly pieces, or
Well, typically the animals that come through, they all have the same experience, and they're handled with care and love. The only difference I would probably say is any snub-nosed breeds that we get in, we keep their breathing tube in a little longer because they like it. Because like dogs with snub nose, they have a harder time breathing, and they have these soft palates that just like really interfere with them being able to breathe clearly. So when they have an intubation tube in, they breathe perfectly fine, and they usually don't want us to take it out because they're like, I'm breathing for the first time in my life, please let me have it in.
Nice. Okay, so now, of course, like for all you dogs and cats watching right now, speaking to all my dogs and cats right there, thank you for watching the link. We appreciate it, right? But obviously surgery can be a very, very scary thing. I would probably say, because they're aware of it, more so for the pet owners. So kind of taking the converse of what I asked earlier about, behavior changes and everything, I've also heard from people that have had their pets spayed and neutered that they're more friendly, that they're a little bit more chill, like they hang out with the kids a little bit more, they don't get as aggressive, or
Yeah, that can be impactful to some animals.
they're nice nap buddies,
Yeah, it's just spaying and neutering is not going to like massively alter their personality, but it can take care of some behavioral, hormonal impulses that they may have had prior. But for the most part, I think our owners are just really excited that when their animals are sterilized, they don't have to worry about unwanted litters anymore.
And it is the right thing to do for our community, sure. Because again, a absolutely sobering, alarming statistic: 60,000 stray animals were roaming around our island's streets. You're also involved, if I may, with other organizations. Okay, so there we've got the community clinic graphic right up. Thank you, Joe, sir. You're the best. February 13th through the 24th. Let's talk about the whole the appointment process, because you said it's appointment based, and you said low cost.
Yeah, so all of our appointments are just $50 per pet, and they can make an appointment for their pets online on our website, snipclinicguam.com. They could also call our office or email to set up if they're having issues with our online booking tool, but our online booking tool on our website is available 24/7.
Okay, funny question now, like like when we're little kids, for people that have had tonsillectomies, right? Like it's, I've got like a sore throat, and they say, okay, well, we're going to give you a procedure. I believe these days, like you can take oral medication to fix it, but it was always now you get ice cream. Like, you know,
Yeah.
the family would reward you for going through that. What stories have you, Stephanie, about pet owners saying, okay, well, my pet just went through this, you get an extra chew toy maybe now, or, you know, you get like a little one of those squeezing.
We do have that happen where pet owners, they'll come in with like a new carrier for their cat that they went to the like Rockies or a local store and they went and got new blankets or new squeak toys, or they'll go and get a pup cup on the way home.
As it should be.
Yeah, they'll drive through Infusion and get themselves a little pup cup for their puppies. They get a little snack on the way home. But we do recommend at the clinic not to overfeed your animal the first day after surgery because they are medicated and they do have medicine in their system that could make them nauseous. And so we usually just have them take it easy as much as they can.
I was going to say post anesthesia and everything like that.
Exactly.
You got to watch what you eat.
Exactly. So when family members come in like, oh yeah, we just went and got them like all of these new chew toys and snacks, we're just like, oh, take it easy and just pace them out to let, you know, them recover from their surgery, so you're not basically giving them a ton of sugar post-surgery.
Yeah, okay, and obviously this is something that is, you know, your life's work. You're very passionate about this work. What has it meant for you to know that you're making a positive contribution to our island community in this way and taking care of, you know, these furry four-legged friends that you adore so much?
It's just been magical. I've only been on island for 2 years and I could already see the massive difference this clinic has had. And even last year before we opened, that was always the #1 thing that the community was calling out for. We need more spay and neuter capabilities. Our veterinarians on island at the private clinics are amazing, but their practices can't be 100% spay and neutering because they have other animals and other clients with needs that are beyond that. And so us being able to get this funding from the government in order to open this clinic and getting Dr. Turner and Dr. Smith to move to island to provide those necessary spay and neutering services has just been, it fills my heart with joy just to see it and know that like it's not even a fight for us. Like we've provided the service and people are knocking down our doors wanting it. The community wants it. Guam wants to sterilize their pets. They recognize the need of it and the community has just really stepped up and they're bringing their pets in. And the people that come through, sometimes we get people who are crying, who are just like so happy that their animal is finally sterilized after having, you know, multiple litters in their life and they just weren't able to have access to this care before.
And you know, I just realized that the dates of your clinic coincide with Valentine's Day.
Yeah, they do.
What better Valentine's Day present to give to your pet and your family than to make sure that it is very well taken care of. So Stephanie,
Exactly.
Thank you so much for what you're doing for our island.
No problem. Happy to help and happy to serve.
All right, so make sure to check out snipclinicguam.com once again for Stephanie and her amazing team taking care of our animals. Stay tuned, everybody. Speaking of taking care of generations, Manamko to Manhoben, the oral history video series. We are talking about that when we come back.